esteemed academics, dear Vice Rector, and dear colleagues. It is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the International Conference on Information Systems and Intelligent Technologies, which is called INSIGHT 2026, hosted by the Faculty of Economics, Administration and Social Sciences at İstanbul Gelişim University. On behalf of İstanbul Gelişim University, I would like to extend our warmest welcome to all our distinguished guests, keynote speakers, my Vice Rector, academics, researchers, and participants joining us from Turkey and all around the world. The main theme of INSIGHT 2026 is integrating information systems and artificial intelligence technologies for sustainable innovation and development. We are very pleased to have you with us today, and we have hope that this conference will provide an inspiring environment for knowledge sharing, collaboration, and new academic connections. My name is Kerem Atilla, and I will be your host throughout this opening session. To begin our program, we will first listen to the national anthems of Turkey, Malaysia, and Indonesia, respectively. And after that, this will be followed by the introductory videos of our universities and then the opening remarks. For the national anthems, we would like you to have a seat up, and after that, we will be seated again. Thank you. Thank you. Please be seated. We will now continue with our introductory videos of İstanbul Gelişim University and possible Malaysia and Indonesia.
Here is where the change began. Over time, changing cities, evolving technology, a changing world. And every journey that carries humanity forward begins with change, with a spark of curiosity, with noticing a possibility no one has seen before. What began as a small spark in 2008 has grown into a powerful journey. Today, İstanbul Gelişim University is shaping the future through academic excellence, research, and sustainability. Year after year, this vision has grown stronger, becoming a thriving educational ecosystem that empowers thousands of students to achieve their dreams. Today, we are a center of academic excellence, home to thousands of students across 7 faculties, 1 School of Foreign Languages, 2 vocational schools, and a graduate education institute. From engineering to dentistry, from sports to the arts, and from health to technology, we do more than create knowledge. We inspire vision, innovation, and impact. As one of Turkey's top 3 most preferred foundation universities, we measure success not only by growth, but by quality. With the highest number of accredited undergraduate programs in the country, we continue to lead the way in academic excellence. Supported by 160 laboratories, 22 research centers, and modern libraries with access to millions of resources, we inspire exploration and innovation. Turning curiosity into discovery, discovery into knowledge, and knowledge into lasting value. We believe university life extends beyond academic achievement, nurturing the intellectual, social, and personal growth of every individual. Through 107 student clubs across culture, arts, sports, and entrepreneurship, we create opportunities for students to explore their passions, develop their talents, and make an impact beyond the classroom. With the vision and responsibility of a global university, İstanbul Gelişim University is shaping the technologies that will define the future. From aviation and medical technologies to sustainability, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and semiconductor technologies, our strong academic foundation bridges science, innovation, and the world. Through its international achievements and continued ascent in global rankings, İstanbul Gelişim University is shaping the future today. Recognized by leading global higher education ranking organizations, we stand among the world's most respected universities in education research and beyond. ODE, with more than 37,000 students, including 12,000 international students from 103 countries and over 72,000 graduates, creating success stories around the world. We are a global ecosystem of learning, growth, and opportunity. By bringing diverse cultures, ideas, and shared aspirations under one roof, we create an impact that transcends borders. At İstanbul Gelişim University, we invest not only in knowledge, but also in global thinking, sustainable solutions, and a shared future. Growth in the arts, sports, technology, and culture. All are different wings of the same journey. We stand with those who pursue knowledge, protect nature, dream boldly, and create for the future. Because the future belongs to those who believe in growth.
The world has entered the fourth industrial revolution, and at the moment, the need for experts in the field of computers is very high. The Faculty of Computer Science of Brawijaya University is determined to become an answer to this need. The Faculty of Computer Science of Brawijaya University envisions that by the year 2024, it will become a leading faculty that is acknowledged internationally in the field of computer science and play an active role in developing the nation through the integration of the three pillars of higher education. The Faculty of Computer Science of Brawijaya University has two departments: Department of Informatics Engineering, which consists of 3 programs, Department of Information System, which also consists of 3 programs.
The Faculty of Computer Science was founded in 2011. As newly established faculty, we has managed to rank 800 plus by noteworthy achievement in computer science, the Time Higher Education World University Ranking 2022. Faculty of Computer Science supported by qualified human resource. There are 115 lecturers with professor, doctoral, and master degree graduated from reputable university within all over the world. To support academic activities, Faculty of Computer Science has 8 laboratories and 10 research groups. We manage 3 journals in Indonesian and English. We also regularly hold national and international scientific seminars.
Currently, there are around 6,000 students that have completed or still participating in the undergraduate and graduate programs in the Faculty of Computer Science of Brawijaya University. The Faculty of Computer Science of Brawijaya University has produced over 4,000 graduates and 60 postgraduates.
Their experiences about decades.
The learning process is conducted in an interactive, student-centered, and case-based manner. In addition to classroom study, there are also practical activities in various laboratories, which are managed by the faculty for use by all programs. Other facilities include a library and e-learning room. Students can access Philcom apps, an app that serves as information center and academic activities from their desktop computers or mobile devices. The Faculty of Computer Science of Brawijaya University facilitates students with disabilities by providing companion for students with hearing impairments and access ramps for wheelchair users. Students of the Faculty of Computer Science of Brawijaya University have won many prestigious awards both nationally and internationally.
Saya sedang menempuh studi doktoral di University Belgia, meneliti tentang probabilistik machine learning dan aplikasinya di auto machine learning. Saya mendapatkan banyak pengalaman dahulu di Philcom mengenai bagaimana research yang benar dan juga bagaimana melakukan programming yang cepat dan efisien.
Saya sangat bangga bisa berkuliah di Universitas Brawijaya karena dengan cara belajarnya yang unik saya bisa tahu perbedaan atau gap yang ada di dunia kerja dan dunia perkuliahan. Serta saya bisa bertanya banyak kepada dosen tentang perbedaan itu dan hingga saya dapat langsung masuk dunia kerja ketika lulus.
Join us at the Faculty of Computer Science of Brawijaya University. Reach the future and build our beloved nation.
Satu hati, satu jiwa berjuang.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to invite Professor Dr. Kenan Aydın, Dean of the Faculty of Economics, Administration and Social Sciences at İstanbul Gelişim University, to deliver his opening remarks.
Esteemed Vice Rector, distinguished university administrators, respected representatives of our conference partners, University Tun Hussein, Malaysia, Asia Pacific Research and Knowledge Network, Centro Algoritmi, and Brawijaya University, distinguished academics, researchers, industry representatives, dear students, and valued guests joining us from around the world. It is my great pleasure to welcome you all on behalf of İstanbul Gelişim University to the International Conference on Information Systems and Intelligent Technologies Insight 2026. We are truly honored to host this international conference in collaboration with our esteemed partners. University Tun Hussein, Malaysia, Asia Pacific Research and Knowledge Network, Centro Algoritmi, and Brawijaya University. It is a privilege to welcome all of you to our university and to share this important academic platform together. Today, we gather not only to present our latest research findings, but also to exchange ideas, strengthen international collaborations, and collectively shape the future of information systems and artificial intelligence. Distinguished guests, information systems and artificial intelligence have become far more than technological tools. Today, they are strategic enablers of sustainable development, economic growth, organizational resilience, and social well-being. Their influence extends well beyond engineering and computer science, transforming business education, healthcare, public administration, and virtually every sector of society. In this context, the theme of this year's conference, Integration, Information Systems and Artificial Intelligence Technology for Sustainable Innovation and Development, reflects not only today's technological priorities, but also our shared responsibility for the future, ensuring that artificial intelligence is developed and implemented in an ethical, trustworthy, and sustainable manner has become a common objective for academia, industry, and policymakers alike. Over the next 2 days, Insight 2026 will provide an inspiring platform for discussing a broad spectrum of emerging topics, including artificial intelligence and machine learning, big data analytics, digital transformation strategies, blockchain technologies, cloud computing, the Internet of Things, cybersecurity, smart cities, digital governance, Industry 4.0, and AI-enhanced education. However, I believe the greatest value of Insight 2026 lies beyond the research papers that will be presented. The true success of this conference will be measured by the new ideas it inspires, the international collaboration it initiates, and the interdisciplinary partnership it fosters. Scientific progress flourishes when diverse perspectives, cultures, and expertise come together to address global challenges. At İstanbul Gelişim University, we are firmly committed to research excellence, internationalization, and interdisciplinary collaboration, supporting scientific research and creating opportunities for global academic engagement remain among our highest priorities. Conferences such as Insight 2026 play a vital role in advancing these objectives by encouraging knowledge exchange and establishing long-lasting international research partnership. We are also delighted that the accepted papers presented at Insight 2026 will be published in Springer's Lecture Notes in Networks and Systems, LNNS, series, providing participants with valuable international visibility and contributing to the dissemination of high-quality scientific research. Dear colleagues, distinguished guests, science is a universal language that transcends geographical boundaries, cultures, and disciplines. Gatherings such as this not only advance knowledge but also strengthen mutual understanding, encourage innovation, and build lasting academic relationships that contribute to a more sustainable and inclusive future. On this occasion, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our conference partners, the members of the scientific committee, reviewers, organizing committee, and everyone whose dedication and hard work have made Insight 2026 possible. My heartfelt thanks also go to all authors, presenters, and participants for sharing their valuable knowledge and expertise with us. I sincerely hope that Insight 2026 will inspire meaningful discussions, foster innovative collaborations, and contribute significantly to the advancement of information systems and artificial intelligence research. Thank you once again for your participation and valuable contributions. I wish you all a productive, inspiring, and successful conference. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your kind words and opening remarks. It is now my pleasure to invite our distinguished international guest, Professor T.S. Dr. Maud Farhan bin Mahfoudze, Dean of the Faculty of Computer Science and Information Technology at University Tun Hussein on Malaysia to deliver his opening remarks.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And good day to everyone. How are you today, guys? Happy? Nervous? Yeah? So let's enjoy today and tomorrow. So it is our great pleasure and honor to welcome all of us to the 2026 International Conference on Information Systems and Intelligent Technologies, which called INSIGHT 2026, held on 19 to 20th August 2026 at this very beautiful university, Istanbul, Gelişim University, Turkey. Let's give a big applause to this university of IGU. On behalf of the Faculty of Computer Science and Information Technology, University Tun Hussein On Malaysia. By the way, Tun Hussein On is our third Prime Minister in Malaysia. We would like to extend our heartfelt appreciation to everyone, participants, presenters, reviewers, session chair, keynote speakers, sponsors, collaborators, and members of the organization committee for the invaluable contributions toward the organization and success of this conference. We are lucky today because the Deputy Vice Rector of Research is here with us. Give a clap to our Deputy Vice Rector of Research, IGU, and also we are very lucky today. We have the Deans of Economics, Administrative, and Social Sciences faculty, IGU. So a big clap to the faculty as well. So INSIGHT 2026 is the second edition of this hybrid international conference. The first one in Bali. So Bali is also fantastic location to be. So maybe next time, maybe Malaysia or Japan or somewhere in the world, okay? Guided by the overarching themes of sustainable and future-ready innovation in information systems, the conference seeks to advance scholarly discourse and foster collaborative engagement in addressing complex global challenges through sustainable, ethical, and technology-driven solutions. So basically we have 2 days programs. The first one is on physical modes and the second one is in hybrid mode, which is online. So ladies and gentlemen, from the script I can see almost similar speech by the first keynote speech. So I'll change my script a little bit because today I wake up around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Then I got some of imagination, what speech to be given today. So now, what does the organization of this conference really means? Yesterday, it means that it opened opportunity for some of us coming here to Turkey, specifically IGU, and specifically part of Europe. Some of the participants traveling more than 20 hours from our Brawijaya, University of Brawijaya, to be here with us today. Fantastic. Give a big clap to them, around 7 to 9 members. And also one of our keynote speakers, they have to rearrange the plane schedule to be here. Dr. Gideon, he will traveling to US early morning tomorrow. And also from Malaysia, we are traveling here around 11 hours yesterday. It's a very long journey, but when you arrive here, Turkey, especially IGU, this is a very fantastic university. Fantastic, yeah? Okay, and some of us, maybe this is the first time you be in Turkey, and you see this great country, fantastic. So enjoy your stay here at Turkey, and remember to tell others, promote Turkey, visit Turkey when you have the chance, yeah? So the success of the organization of today's conference is actually a lot of efforts have been given to ensure this conference a success. Today, the organizing of this conference is the result of great leaderships, teamwork, and amazing communication between all parties. Great leadership by the IGU members, great leadership by the Brawijaya University, great leadership by the UTHM, and more importantly, it is a great leadership by the committee led by Professor Deden Witarsha Jacob over there. I followed him the past few days and looking, he made contact, communicate with so many people to ensure that this conference is a success. So great leaders produce two things. First, they produce great results, as today organization of Insight 2026. The second important thing, great leaders, they create impacts. Yeah, as today is the results of hard work and plan, impact will be our collaboration in undertaking research project together. So enjoy today and tomorrow event, and then let work together after this to build a better tomorrow. Let complement one another. Let discuss on ideas and future. This conference will be one of the best memories in our research activity. I think similar to the IGU, what we say, the nice word which is, remember the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. But not only believe, we must execute it, and not only execute it, but execute it with a good plan and resources, and more importantly, with good teams and communication. Finally, we look forward to welcoming all of you again at the next edition of Insight, where we will continue to strengthen our global research community and shape the future together. Once again, we really thank Istanbul Gelişim University for hosting this conference physically. Such a fantastic vibe now and beautiful arrangement. And to Universitas Brawijaya that will be hosting the online session tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you so much. Enjoy Turkey. Thank you.
We will now hear from Mr. Ahmet Şenol Arma, Director of Library and Documentation at İstanbul Gelişim University.
Değerli misafirlerimize hoş geldiniz.
Guests.
İstanbul Gelişim Üniversitesi Kütüphane Daire Başkanı olarak çalışıyorum. 2011 yılında üniversitemizde görev aldım.
I started working at İstanbul Gelişim University in the Department of Documentation. And I started working here. I have been working here since 2014.
Kütüphane faaliyetleri yanında yayıncılık faaliyetleri de bize bağlı. Şu anda bir dergimizi görüyorsunuz.
As you can see, this is one of our journals, Journal of Social Sciences.
Birazdan ikinci bir dergimiz daha var, Ekoman dergimiz. Onu da tanıtacağız. Bu iki dergi odağında gideceğiz ama diğer dergilerimize de kısa kısa değineceğiz.
I will briefly will be talking about the other journal of ours, which is called Ekoman, and also I will be talking about briefly other journals.
İstanbul Gelişim Üniversitesi Sosyal Bilimler dergimizden başlayalım. Bu dergimiz 2014 yılında kuruldu.
Let's start with one of our journals, which is İstanbul Gelişim Üniversitesi Journal of Social Sciences. This journal was established in 2014.
Başta 5 dilde makale kabul ediyordu. Daha sonradan sadece İngilizce makale kabul etmeye başladı.
Firstly, we used to accept articles in 5 different languages, but now we are only accepting articles in both languages, in Turkish and English.
Şeyi tıklayabilirsiniz. Oradaki konuların altına. Evet. Buradaki konular genel olarak sosyal bilimler olmasına rağmen bazı alanlarda makale kabul etmiyor. Sadece şurada başlıkları bulunan konularda makale kabul ediyor.
Although this is a social sciences journal, we only accept articles focusing on the topics, as you can see on the board.
Ayrıca araştırma makaleleri yanında derleme makaleler ve kitap incelemelerine yer veriyor.
Apart from scientific articles, we also in this journal we can also provide book review and book introductions.
Dergi yazım kurallarına şu sayfamızdan ulaşabilirsiniz.
Through this website you can access our author guidelines.
Yılda 2 kere çıkıyor, Nisan ve Ekim aylarında.
This journal is biannual, meaning that in April and in October this journal is published.
Dergimizin kurullarından da bahsedelim.
Let's talk about our journal boards.
Rektör hocamız dergimizin sahibi.
Professor Rector are the owner of the journal.
Editoryal kurullarda görevli olan hocalarımız bunlar.
As you can see on the screen, these are the professors responsible of the editorial board.
Dergimizin editörü Profesör Doktor Serdar Egeli, üniversitemizin rektör yardımcısı. Dergimizin editörü.
Our journal's editor is Serdar Egeli, who is our vice rector.
Dergimiz 2014 yılında kurulmuş olmasına rağmen birçok indeks tarafından şimdiden takip edilmeye başlandı.
Although this journal was established in 2014, there are many indexes taking place in this journal.
Bunlardan birine değinmek istiyorum. TR dizin. TR index.
Let's focus on one of them, which is TR index.
TR index Türkiye'nin en saygın indeksidir.
TR index is the most respected indexes in Turkey.
Ayrıca DOAJ'da yer aldığımızı görüyorsunuz. DOAJ da oldukça önemli bir indekstir. Uluslararası bir indekstir.
As you can see, this journal also takes place in DOAJ, one of the indexes respected around the world.
Diğer dergimize geçebiliriz. Üniversitemizin bir başka dergisi Journal of Sustainable Economics and Management Studies adını taşıyor.
The other journal is called Journal of Sustainable Economics and Management Studies.
Şu yazım kurallarına guideline açalım. Evet. Dergimiz başlangıçta yönetim ve sürdürülebilirlik konularına odaklanmıştı. Ancak şu anda sosyal bilimlerin bütün alanlarından İngilizce makale kabul ediyor.
At the beginning, this journal used to only accept articles from the areas like sustainability and information management systems. But now, in this journal, any field related to social science is accepted.
Yazım kurallarına bu belgeden ulaşılabiliyor.
You can access author guidelines through this document.
Dergimiz yeni bir dergi olduğu için, 2020 yılında kurulan yeni bir dergi olduğu için şimdilik takip edilen indeksler bunlar.
Since this journal was established in 2020, these are only our indexes for just the time being.
Bu dergimiz baştan bu yana sadece İngilizce makale kabul ediyor.
When it was started, this journal only accepts articles in English.
Dergimiz Haziran ve Aralık aylarında yılda 2 kere yayınlanıyor.
This journal is published biannually, meaning only in October and June. In June and December.
Az önce andığımız Sosyal Bilimler Dergisi'yle beraber Ekoman dergimizin de indeks başvuruları devam ediyor.
As it applies to the other journal that we have mentioned, the index applications for this Ekoman journal is still ongoing.
Başvurduğumuz indeksler arasında Uluslararası Scopus indeksi de yer alıyor.
Among the indexes we have applied so far, is also Scopus.
Kurullara da girebilirsek. Dergimizin kurulları da bu şekilde.
These are our editorial board and owner of the journal.
Dergimizin editörü İktisadi İdari Bilimler Fakültesindeki Doçent Doktor Onur Özdemir hocamız.
Editor of this journal is our Professor Onur Özdemir, who is working at Faculty of Economics, Administrative Sciences and Social Sciences.
Dergimizin şu anda aramızda bulunan Kenan hocamızın fakültesi olan İktisadi İdari Bilimler Fakültesi tarafından yayınlandığını da söylemeliyim.
And I must also add that this journal is also tied with the Faculty of Economics, Administrative and Social Sciences that our Professor Kenan Aydın is the dean of.
Bugün sosyal bilimlerle ilgili olan dergilerimizi öne çıkardık. Ancak üniversitemizin başka dergileri de var.
We highlighted the social sciences journals of our university, but also we do have other journals tied with our university.
İngilizcesini açalım. Bunlardan en önemlilerinden biri Sağlık Bilimleri dergimiz.
One of the most prominent ones is İstanbul Gelişim Üniversitesi Journal of Health Sciences.
Bu dergimiz de TR Dizin tarafından takip ediliyor ve Scopus başvuruları devam ediyor.
This journal is also has ties with TR indexes in Turkey, and also we have the application process ongoing for Scopus.
Geri gelelim Google'a. İku işet yazalım. İku işet. Evet. Bir başka dergimiz International Journal of Engineering Technologies.
The other journal of ours is called International Journal of Engineering Technologies.
Bu dergimiz 2017 yılında kuruldu ve TR Dizin başvurusu devam ediyor. Henüz TR Dizi'nde yer almıyor.
This journal has been was established in 2017, and its application for TR indexes is still ongoing.
Google'a IQ article yazalım. IQ article. Sanat. Sanat ve tasarım. Sanat ve tasarım. Son zaten. Evet. Son olarak Sanat ve Tasarım dergimizden bahsedeceğim.
Lastly, I will be talking about our other journal called Journal of Art and Design.
Bu dergimizin de TR Dizin başvurusu devam ediyor. TR Dizi'nde henüz yer almıyor.
The application of this article for TR Index is still ongoing.
Burada sizlere Ekoman dergimizle ilgili editör yardımcımızı da davet etmek istiyorum. Şükran Kahveci hocamız, asistan profesör.
Here I would like you to present our vice editor assistant here.
Dergimiz yeni kurulan bir dergi ve bütünüyle İngilizce makale kabul ettiği için Şükran hocamızın birkaç cümlesi olacak sizlere.
Our Professor Shukran will be talking briefly about Ekoman Journal.
Distinguished Vice Rector, valuable Dean, and dear participants of Insight 2026. It's pleasure to be here and introduce our new journal, Ekoman. It's openly Journal of Sustainable Economics and Management Studies. Like the dear Chanel explained, it's very new journal, and it serves as a platform dedicated to publishing high-quality academic research in the field of economics, management, and social science. And these areas are aligned with this conference themes a little bit, which development, innovation, and sustainable development and innovation. The channel way explain, I want to talk about briefly. It's publishing language in English, and it's published twice a year, June and December. And we are very welcome to submit either your paper in this conference or ongoing studies to our journal, and we will be delighted to see your original research in Ekoman. And also, as an assistant editor, I can say that I will be delighted to support your submission process in this journal. And also I can say that even if it's a new journal, it has a large editorial team, and so it's make our publishing and review process faster and standardized, I can say that. And also our website you can see on the screen, and if you need any further information or for submission or guidelines, you can visit. And also in this website there is a journal context. In this session you can find our email address, technical or editorial team. So if you have any questions about submissions, please feel free to contact us. And thank you for your attentions. I wish you all successful and productive conference. Thank you.
We are now ready to continue with our keynote sessions. It is my great pleasure to introduce our first keynote speakers. Professor Dr. Anton Abdulbasah Kamil from İstanbul Gelişim University and Dr. Esra Ergün from Microsoft.
At the conference, she also was a guest speaker at IGU, right? And also the featured speaker at Top Tech event. Yep. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dr. Esra. Dr. Esra, please. Stay.
So thank you so much for introduction, and thank you so much for your invite. It's really an honor to be here, and thank you to organization teams, İstanbul Gelişim Üniversitesi, and all partners who make it real. So I'm Esra Ergün. I work at Microsoft as a Principal Customer Success Accounts Manager. What I do is I collaborate with our enterprise customers to structure their digital transformation roadmap and journey, including cloud, including cybersecurity and artificial intelligence journey. I'm in technology sector more than 25 years. So on behalf of that, I have a doctoral degree and academic background, especially in artificial intelligence and strategy management. And I collaborate with the industries and the universities collaboration, in fact, to focus on the new technologies. So today, just since universities we are together, I would like to talk a little bit about what kind of institutions, what kind of organizations, and what kind of universities we need to build together, in fact, to let these technologies, these new technologies, will be implemented in a efficient, in a sustainable, and in a very powerful impact. So that's why my agenda is, in fact, the title is Human-Led Agent-Enabled Organizations, which is a new area, in fact, for us. You know, till now, over the last few decades, we have, how should I do? We connected to the information through internet, and then we connected to systems through the cloud, and then we connected to people through digital networks, mobile phones, and etc. But today it's really different because we are connecting to intelligence itself, to connect to everywhere, wherever we want, in fact, right? In our personal life, in our daily life, in our work process, in our organizations. So we cannot say it's a technology trend. It's definitely a shift from information to intelligence, in fact. The challenge is not acquiring the information right now. The challenge is right now transformation, this information into powerful insights and the action. That's why the importance of human-led agent-enabled organization is becoming really important, because till now the original, the traditional information systems were storing the information, they retrieve the information, and they distribute the information. But transforming from information systems to intelligence systems, now we are acting, in fact, with the information. That's why it's really important to know what we delegate to systems, how we control them. The governance is becoming important. So I would like to share some global signals from the latest reports. It contains Gartner reports, World Economic Forum reports, Stanford University reports, and Microsoft Work Index reports. It says there's, for example, more than 50%, 78% organizations now applied artificial intelligence, and they are in a something different way. And 15 times signals show that how it's the incremental value of the agenting AI, in fact, increment numbers. And the job numbers, it's really increasing. We cannot say jobs are dying, jobs are reduction, etc. It says the signals shows that more than 80 million new jobs will be placed till end of this year. And again, 92 million jobs will be transformed, in fact. The energy number says that, it signals that there is an energy footprint. Technology and artificial intelligence has something on energy. We have to take care of that. And the last number shows from the education perspective, the higher confidence, how it is increasing. So while we are looking at all these numbers, we cannot say just AI, artificial intelligence, the technology trend only. It's a, it's a kind of economic transformation for the organizations, because AI is becoming a foundation layer for the knowledge economies right now. And it's time to create intelligence-driven economies right now. So as an organizations, as a companies, and as universities, we have to be prepared for this new world. Otherwise, just we will have to catch up what's going on in the world with lots of delays. So we saw that the future of work is being rewritten. Generally, organizations focus on the technology side, right? To deploy we are focusing on select the model, select the product, select the technology at first, without not taking care of the organizational or the institutional layers. But in the new world, these are becoming more important, in fact, technology. What does it mean? Organizational layer means workflows, data quality, your data quality to be trusted, in fact. Success and decision rights could be how it's shaped, and they should be changed. For the institutional layer, of course, the skills, education, policies, and regulations are becoming important. So we can say that it's a shift from systems of recording to systems of reasoning and action. That's why we can say that, okay, information systems will still be there, still be with us, but their role is expanding, and we have to take care about that. Here is a small story, in fact, what's going on in the world, in our life. So we started AI with predictive AI, it's just a prediction for the forecasts. Then we start to talk about generative AI. So generative AI start to create the contents, in fact, create the rules. And then we come to agenting AI. Most of the companies are still working with generative AI, but we already entered agenting AI. With agenting AI, now it started to embed it in our workflows, in fact. It started to create the plans, in fact. It started to understand the signals, numbers, and create the plans, create the decisions, and then manage it, etc. So the action side is becoming attractive right now. What is next? So we already entered agenting AI. The next step is the institutional AI. So it's a really amusing, interesting, exciting period right now. We have to take care from the worldwide perspective, from regional and our country's perspective. It's really a new area, but of course it's changed this time the risk surface, right? Because think about that, in your company or in your industry, some intelligence systems can access your organizational data, they can manage, they can act, and they decide something and they start to action. So it of course changed the risk surface. That's why governance is becoming important. So what does it mean, governance? Security, identity management, monitoring, controls should be important. That we have to take care about that. I'm skipping this ones. Let's come here. So for the orchestration, how we will work together with these technologies. If everything is done by the agents, what will we do as people, as employees? Think about a finance team can use a chatbot assistant or an AI assistant for texting, for contracting, etc. And they can use more agenting AI for analysis, credit analysis and etc. They can use all together, in fact, for the backend processes. The maturity is not the autonomy itself, it's the quality of the delegation. So in the new area, we have to know that what should we delegate to AI? How should we delegate to agentic AI? When should we stop the AI and when the humans should be contribute? Or how should we check the evidence effect in the outcomes? That's why the leadership question is right now the critical leadership question, the ratio of the human and agentic AIs, in fact. To understand this one, all the skills should be rechanged and the organizational culture should be changed. We need the young people to be aware about that, in fact, and to be prepared about that, because now human force is changing, instead of doing the manual tasks together, whatever we have, it's changing to control and to governance everything. For example, in my daily life, in Microsoft, I have lots of team members, agentic AI team members. We have a big team, and we have other team members, agent AI team members, who is working with us, for example. In my daily life, for example, I have an agent to check the status of my projects, depending on my customers. I have another agent for the insights, for the reports analysis. I have another agent, for example, for my process activities to analyze the customer pain points and to match with the right technologies. And I have another agent for the issues with the critical problems, blah, blah, etc. And I created another project manager, program manager agent to consolidate, to govern all of them. And as a single point of contact, what we are doing in the traditional life, as a single point of contact, I'm dealing with this agent, this program agent, to coordinate all the other agents and to tell me what should I do or what should I take care, and etc. It's really changing our life, our efficiency. That's why we can spend our times to invest more, in fact, to learn new technologies or to have much more network with customers to talk about the new strategies. It's really great, and we have to take care about to establish such kind of frameworks. That's why we are calling that in the new area as a frontier organization. With, in general understanding, okay, AI is killing our jobs, blah, blah, because of AI, lots of job reduction, etc. It's true, but as I said, the leadership questions should be the human ratio of the agents, agentic AIs, and the human, how we control. It means that if you increase the agentic AIs, your agents, you have to increase accordingly your human, in fact, based on your risk levels, based on the functions and the related area. So this is a new organization archetype, in fact, in the new world. This is a new terminology in the world, frontier organizations. Maybe you may, we will start to hear so much about that. So it's a practical framework, organizational new framework, in fact. It's 6 foundations, we can say that. It's strategy, it's not started with the technology selection. It started with the strategy and to setting the goals. Then data, governance, workflows, monitoring, agents and measurement, and the value, of course. This is the summary of what we have talked, in fact, till now. This architecture prevents AI just not only an innovation island, it's a whole story of the organization, in fact, we can say. So just, I would like to skip to universities side, what we are expecting from universities and how should we collaborate with the universities, in fact. Let me come there. Definitely universities are not observers anymore. In fact, we need to transform together in collaboration what we are teaching and how we are teaching. It's not only from the university's perspective to deploy the AI. Okay, as an academician, I'm using AI tools to create my agenda, content, blah, blah, etc. And students are using AI for their projects, etc. It's fine, but the transformation and expectation is not limited with that. We have to think about how we can teach and what should we teach, in fact. The AI literacy should be definitely published in all in all faculties, what we see from the industry perspective, because it's not on a computer science lesson anymore. The law students, law young people needs AI, in fact, to understand the governance. Doctors and medical faculties need to understand AI on top of their subject expertise. Arts and literature needs to know again AI, in fact, to understand the new world. Social science, definitely, what is the social impacts with AI? So AI lectures as a first step should be entered in all classes. On top of the subject matter experts, everybody should know the AI, in fact. We need to be prepared about that. And also interdisciplinary research. Comparing to industries, in fact, what I believe that universities has a really great chance to work with interdisciplinary areas, because in companies you have to focus on your area and etc. You have some targets, but in universities, creating collaboration with different departments, different faculty students to come together to create use cases, to create projects together. And of course, the collaboration with the SMEs, with the companies, technology vendors. Today, lots of companies, lots of technology vendors are creating platforms for the and organizing university student organizations, projects, hackathons, etc., and innovation hubs. So industries has real problems. The companies is experiencing what is going on the field, what is expected, what should be changed, what is the cost, optimum, and etc. And they have platforms to simulate, in fact. And the young people, there are to play these simulations, to create new ideas and to understand what can be realized and what researching models on the academician side. So all this should be together combined, and what we believe is the collaboration is really important. These are the main things, in fact, that I would like to say. So in the new area, we cannot say AI is only computer engineering, AI is only technology, even though for the leaderships, both industry and university, we need to be together now. And what we observe, what we monitoring from the worldwide perspective, I'm sure you're already experiencing that lots of new laboratories, lots of new hackathons, new student projects are established in everywhere in the world. So this collaboration, I believe that's really important to again, these young people to be aware how the organizations are transforming. So that's all what I want to say. If you have any questions, okay. I think if we have time, we can take it, or I'm here a little bit.
Okay.
We can talk.
Thank you very much, Dr. Esra, for a very insightful and inspiring presentation. So. AI is very important in any discipline, and then as Dr. Esra said, that university is very important institution in AI era. Okay, right. So we will move to the question and answer now. If you have any question, you can raise your hand. Please start with telling your name and then your institution and give you. Okay, please, Prof.
I don't need microphone. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know, the universities are teaching, right? We run the can AI help run the university better? So what are the purpose of universities? Attract more students, better quality students, better quality faculty members. And if any rector asks you, what can AI do or how can I use AI to improve the university? I should say, but to develop or make it bigger. So that's my question. Thank you. By the way, I'm Professor Hami from the Faculty of Dentistry.
Thank you so much. It's a really great question and start point of question, definitely. Generally, in all industries and including the universities, just what we are proposing and what I recommend is try to understand all workflow at first. Not try to focus a specific, your, for example, workday structure, operational grade submission tool, for example. Just make it an very simple agent or simple assistant to submit blah, blah, etc. Not focus only one item. In the starting point, in the transformation framework, as we talked about the strategy, what we are targeting as a university, in fact, to apply to if I implement the AI technologies. What does it mean? I have to increase the student numbers, of course. I have to make cost optimization, of course. I have to add new lectures, of course. I have to be aware and to teach new technologies on my students, of course. Blah, blah. This is one of the items that I can say. So from this big structure, just we need to make it in phases, in fact. To be aware about the AI technologies, to become AI-driven university, at first, after putting this overall strategy and overall work structure, then we need to start to focus the small items. At first, we have to start with the data quality. I'm sure there are lots of students' data, university data, blah, blah, etc. The uniqueness and which data should I can, what kind of data I need to reach my target. We have to collect and we have to check out at first what kind of data I have. At first we have to start to maybe make it unique, to collaborate the systems, etc. from technical point of view. We have to start at first, after setting the targets, to correct the data environment. And then let's start the value impacted processes. Maybe it's better to start with operational tasks. For a student, for example, they need to understand which courses are published, what are the operational tasks, whatever the operational tasks if a student while submitting or choosing the lessons. Just follow this structure to shift to agents, for example. Then let's start operational tasks from the teaching perspective. Then step by step, it will start, in fact. So the main point is here to set the goals, to make it the data environment clear, and then define the small items, including its ecosystem, its workaround. Generally, in all institutions, we are addressing, after setting the overall targets, we are focusing on daily operations, small automations, I mean. Then we are adding the ecosystem, because it means that the employers, the students or teachers or your end users becoming aware what is going on in the ecosystem, what is ongoing in the technology, what it could be, what kind of advantages can be proposed. Then people try to use, and you can try to add the other automations, other workflows, and etc. And by adding these agents step by step, in parallel, it becomes the governance, security, and identity management, of course. All these things are going in parallel. I think it's a kind of answer for you.
Let me add a couple of things. in this country, 2.1 million students take university entrance exam. And yesterday, the result of this university entrance exam was published. And management information system programs in every universities are full. But when you go and check the engineering programs, computer engineering, software engineering, and other things, they are not full.
Yeah.
So the main purpose of rector of any, especially private university, is to open a new program.
Sure.
And also watch the other programs. Are they preferred by the students? How about the placement percentage and etc., right? So there are some programs preferred by the student, full, but there are some programs not preferred by the student. So to make a decision whether to close that program or open a new program,
Definitely.
how can AI help these university decision makers make their decision right so that they will open new programs based on the prediction, analysis of data, etc.
Yeah, that's why you have to make a right predictions, to get the right actions. You need to analyze data, right? The social impact, what's going on in the future, what about other universities, what about the last 5 years trends, for example. How is the other universities changing? So you need to data to understand why it is increasing, why it is lowering the submission, for example. You need to analyze the data. To analyze this data, you need AI agents again, right? You have a data warehouse, for example, including or the public numbers. So you need to analyze the latest trends, the coming trends, and etc. And then it's your subject expertise, in fact, how you can increase the numbers for the newcomers. For example, for computer engineering, what we see is, okay, sometimes it's increasing the requests from the students, but what we see is it's also decreasing because we always telling that programming engineering is dying because artificial intelligence is making coding, etc. We don't need to junior software engineers, blah, blah, blah. It affects the people and the submissions requests are decreasing, but it's not the point, right? The computer engineering should be changed then. Instead of application software writing programs, there should be machine learning lessons should be increased maybe. It should be practiced with the experts, in fact, with teachers and with academicians, of course. Because we cannot say, okay, just the software engineering lessons will continue as it is, whatever, however we are doing till now. It definitely should change. That's why this, how it is transformed, it should be published to the students, okay? You should say your computer engineering or the high school students, okay, you can still choose computer engineering. But instead of focusing software, we are coming with you new lessons such as machine learning, agentic AI frameworks, Foundry libraries, blah, blah, etc. to help. So it will be attractive to young people, right? So that's why it's important to analyze such kind of things and to trying to understand the transformation. For law students, for example, medical students, instead of their on behalf of course, they have their original lessons, there should be AI interacted lessons. How AI helps in a medical area, for example. There should be specific courses, projects, hackathons maybe. It could be attractive, like such kind of things. But definitely we need to analyze to understand which faculties we have to open, which faculties we have to close, etc. It should be analyzed at first, because AI depends on data at first. Then after analyzing data, agents will start to say will be the recommendation and etc. For data, you need your university data, your public data, other universities data, maybe work index data. It says, for example, psychology is increasing, work index data in the governance and monitoring tools is increasing, for example. Such kind of job definitions is increasing. So to match these job descriptions, what kind of lessons we should take care? Should we open any lessons, or something should be added in the current faculties? So this kind of analysis definitely agentic AIs will help. So we need such kind of machine learning models and the agentic frameworks, in fact, to develop such kind of things. Definitely it's related with the goal settings and data. Welcome.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions?
Yeah, we have one.
Yeah, please.
Hello, everyone. I am research assistant in the Management Information Systems. My name is Serdar Budak. If I'm not wrong, you said that in order to have more agents, you also need more human power or human.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that the aim of the agents is to reduce human power in the industry or all of the areas?
It depends, in fact, about the complexity and the risk. I have a slide, maybe I can find, let me find here. Yeah, it shows, for example, if you have routine tasks, for example, with low risks, low complexity, etc., then just you can automate just with the simple monitoring. You don't need the people. You can cut off all those people if they are working just only reporting below, etc. It's clear. We cannot say anything about that. But when the risk is high, for example, or the complexity is becoming more important, then you need to, again, as we said in the beginning, you have to set goals and you have to take care of the data and monitoring identity. You have to control, and it depends on definitely the functional level, the risk level, and how organization is shifting this transformation, right? It depends on how organization culture is changing accordingly. It's not one day. So step by step, organization is learning what they can delegate to agents, or where can jump in. For example, from my life, in my working life, I started with the agents, for example, just creating for reporting site, because I had to check lots of reports, to check my customer status, I had to take actions, blah, blah, etc. At first, I created an agent to analyze the reports, okay, with the scheduled times, and let me know if there are something unexpected pattern, anomalies, blah, blah, which I cannot see with eyes, etc. It was a simple one, for example. Then, after we are getting aware and after the new services are deployed, we created a pre-sales agent, for example. It analyzes all the customer data, all the previous proposals, blah, blah, etc., and makes an offer for me to talk with the customer. Okay, I forget, for example, it was 6 months ago, blah, blah, etc. We argued a technical subject with customer, and now there is a new offering, and I can match, but just trying to search, resourcing, blah, blah, etc., I couldn't find this information. Agents tell them, and it's an improvement day by day, how we are approaching. Then I checked this one, for example. I didn't talk to customer directly because I had to analyze whether it is a new service and how it is applied to the customer, etc. So it's a learning curve, definitely. Start small agents and analyze the work stream. Trying to set your goals and understand your ecosystem, And then according to risk level, according to changing the respect of the organization to this change, step by step it will take place. It's a learning cycle, in fact, for all of us, even though for us.
Okay, then you say if we have more capable agents at the end of this agentic AI or thing, and we can reduce the human power, then control all. We just have one person or one capable person to control of them.
Definitely, and also it changes the way of working, right? Okay, I'm doing my life, spending my time, for example, doing some tasks with agents. Some of my working hours are empty because agents are doing. So instead of cutting those people, you are transforming, right? Instead of those manual or operational tasks, now I'm spending my time talking more with customer, in fact. Instead of one customer, I'm talking 3 customers for a day, for example. Instead of talking only one subject, one solution, I'm talking with another solution. So I'm investing myself on other industries, for example. So it depends on you, and definitely it depends on the leadership. That's why the leadership should understand the new technologies, this transformation, this intelligence-driven economy does not mean the cost reduction. It's a result, of course, we cannot accept it, but it really depends on the leadership's understanding.
Okay, thank you for your answers.
Welcome.
Thank you. Maybe one more question, if you have any. We still have around 3 minutes. Yeah, please.
Thank you. This is Dr. Sulman from Department of Electrical Electronics here. I just want to clarify something here. I was late when I
Sorry,
came.
is it possible to talk a little bit loud? We cannot hear.
I have the microphone.
Thank you.
So it's a point, maybe it's just an opinion. So in many fields, AI is taking for granted that will function perfectly in many tasks. However, we have to consider that AI, all the AI out there, it's just an algorithm made by a human. An engineer like me done that maybe 20 years ago when we start developing this in the lab. So the output of the algorithm depends, as you said, in multiple variables. The input, the training, the outcome of that training is not granted to be 100% correct. In fact, in the early stages of voice recognition and face recognition, there are a lot of mistakes have been done. And it's being published even now in the United States where they have this intelligent AI detection for cars, plates, and face detection. Mistakes have been made. So 100% replace a human in many things. However, it can accelerate the work. It can, provide advantages of making our work faster. However, it's still within the limit of the training and the input. So humans have to be careful with dealing with the AI, even in multiple easy tasks that is AI already trained upon. So AI is always taking the input, train, and if you are you as a person interacting with the AI program, it will ask you, is this right decision? Is it the input correct? So it's trained that way. So algorithm that is made by a human can be changed. It actually can fail. The error is so high, maybe for general public, they don't understand that. And not something you can take for granted will do the work for you. It has a multiple. Replacing AI with a human in a workforce, at least for now, we are not in a stage to do that. We need maybe a decade, maybe, something like that, to enhance the algorithm. However, let's come up with a scenario where the algorithm is being shut down or hacked by an engineer working in a company, and we lost everything. So what are we going to do? Are we replacing human, and now are we going to start over? Because then we have nothing, because everything is digital, and we got nothing now. So I think my point is to optimize the work environment and the requirement for the future. As such, a human can still play a major role in all aspects of our life, including universities, teaching, manufacturing, rather than taking as a granted. Because I've seen people taking AI as a granted for everything job, and that is actually dangerous, because the outcome, as I evaluated with my students, is not correct. And then I tell them, like, you can use AI as a learning technique, okay, but also you're human. You have more brain capability because we create AI. So you can actually compare that and see where you don't like. And when it comes to reducing the people, like let's say we are here and we do an interview and we say human beings have to be there too, because AI doesn't understand all the requirements. So that is the point that I want to make.
Definitely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. You bring out a good point. Accountability. Definitely sustainability, trust. AI-driven is triggering the accountability, because whenever agent is failing, nobody owns the failure, right? This is the agent failure sector. So that's why the governance is becoming important. And in the beginning, we talked about the AI readiness, to prepare about the skills and the data preparation and this learning periods. Definitely depending on the functionalities and etc. Even though, for example, I'm sure you are using different AI tools for a same subject. You are asking something, an AI tool, it gives an answer. You are asking to another AI tool, it gives something different, blah, blah. Which one is true, right? Definitely, it depends on many things. So that's why the governance, security, data quality is important, and it's a lifelong story, definitely. But it is there, so we have to be prepared about it, and we have to learn how we manage, how we adapt our organizations according to this. Definitely you are right. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much for all questions, excellent questions, and then thanks you again, Dr. Nesta, for valuable presentation and fruitful response. Okay. So. This concludes our first keynote session. So we'll give back
We would like to thank you for Esra Ergün hocamız for the presentation. And hocam, sizleri biraz daha tutarsak. Sizi biraz güzel sahnede tutarsak. Thank you so much for the presentation, hocam. For the presentation of plaque, we would like to invite you, the Vice Rector Arda Öztürkcan, and Dean of this faculty, Professor Dr. Kenan Aydın, to this stage. We will now continue with our second keynote session. It is my pleasure to welcome Dr. Rizwan Septriyadi Sianturi from Brawijaya University and Dr. Muhaini Otman.
Good morning, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, speakers, and participants. It is my great pleasure and honor to introduce our next keynote speaker, Associate Professor Dr. Muhaini binti Otsman from the Faculty of Computer Science and Information Technology, University Tun Hussein On Malaysia, Malaysia. Dr. Muhaini is an accomplished academic and researcher with extensive expertise in artificial intelligence, machine learning, predictive modeling, decision support system, and computational intelligence. Her research particularly explores areas such as spiking neural networks, neuroevolutionary modeling, and advanced predictive analytics, with application across a variety of real-world domains. Beyond her research contribution, Dr. Muhaini has also held significant academic leadership responsibilities. If I'm not mistaken, she currently serves as Deputy Dean for Student Affairs and Alumni at the Faculty of Computer Science and Information Technology, UTHM, and has previously contributed in various research and academic management roles. We are indeed privileged to have her with us today, and we look forward for gaining valuable insights from her knowledge, experience, and perspectives. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in warmly welcoming our keynote speaker, Associate Professor Dr. Muhaini binti Otsman. Dr. Muhaini, it is a pleasure to have you with us. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Rizwan, and also MCs. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good afternoon, nearly afternoon, right, 11 o'clock. Before we dive in into the topics today, I would like to thank the organizing committees, especially from Istanbul GELISIM's universities for this marvelous setup. This is a very huge stage that we will be speaking here today. And also good evening to everyone, my colleagues, my dean here, also the keynote speakers, and fellow researchers and future doctors here and online. Okay. So my topics today is the age of the unknown, right? Why academia holds the keys to sustainable AI. Right now we are living in what many call the golden age of artificial intelligence, right? Almost every week, we see a new massive deep learning models released to the public, agentic, like what previous speaker tells us about, promising to be faster and more capable than the last. But behind the exciting headlines, of course, and commercial breakthroughs, there is quite a physical reality that our industry is struggling. Like to train just these massive commercial AI models, you have to require some amount of electricity to like hundreds ohm just for entire year, right? So we are gathered here in ISAC 2026 to talk about the future of digital transformation. If you look at the current trajectory of mainstream AI, the future looks less like a boundless scientific frontiers, but more like unsustainable race for computing power. In the pursuit of better algorithm, like we got a lot of algorithm in the labs, right? We're building a lot of things. We're researching a lot of things in the lab using a complex algorithm. And we're trying to solve complex problems by simply throwing petabytes of data and gigawatts of electricity at them. So as a researcher, as academician, we are trained to look past all this hype and ask the fundamental questions. As we mentor our students and push the boundaries, we are naturally led to ask, is true artificial intelligence really just scaling up hardware? Is it? Is it scaling up hardware until we run out of power? Is it? No, right? Or does the future demand that we completely rethink how machine process information? So we explore the second path together. We are witnessing a moment where simply adding more computing power to a problem is hitting physical wall. The great paradigm shift in technology will not come from building a bigger data center. It will come from building a smarter and sustainable foundation. So I believe here, what we've done here today in conferences, in journals, this is what we are looking forward in the future. For those who haven't had the pleasure to meeting me, my name is Associate Professor Dr. Muhaini Othman. Currently, I am the Deputy Dean of Student Affairs and Alumni at Faculty of Computer Science and Information Technology, UTHM. So my research over the years has spanned a wider field of computational intelligence. I studied my PhD in Auckland University of Technology, AUT, New Zealand, where my work was deeply related to brain-inspired algorithm. So those foundational years taught me some things about how we should build the future of AI. So this is, if you look at these pictures, this is my study years, all right? I study in Knowledge Engineering Discovery Research Innovation Lab, KEDRI. So that's my supervisor, Professor Nikola Kasabov. He's a pioneer, Life Fellow of pioneer of KEDRI, and also Life Fellow of IEEE and Fellow of Royal Society of New Zealand. He's very good, and he's the one who drives the spiking neural network, brain-inspired algorithm for us to learn about. And his visionary work in neuromorphics, computing, evolving system, essentially laid the groundwork for for my own career and collaborative spirit of KEDRI, because we build this prototype together. Okay. So let us talk about human brain, because spiking neural network is inspired by human brain. Okay. It is the most advanced neural network in the known universe, right? Our brain. It processes complex spatial temporal data, makes predictive decisions in highly dynamic environment, and it does all this running about 20 watts of power. Roughly the energy of lighting a light bulb. Very small power you needed for our brain. For decades, we researchers in neuromorphic computing, spiking neural networks, or SNN short, we have been trying to replicate this kind of, processing. We argue that we want truly intelligent system, we need algorithm that process time and context, like biological neurons. But for a long time, like mainstream tech industry view, this is just academic experiments. Right? Why we bother to mimic the brain? Then we can just build a bigger server. Yet, when we look at this landscape today, that narrative is shifting, bringing massive AI model into the real world, onto edge devices, into smart cities, remote sensors, present severe power constraint, right? We have to build bigger server and a lot of things to do. And because of the shared challenge, we are seeing a fascinating conversion. Okay? The broader tech community is beginning to revisit the very brain-inspired framework we have been studying for years. So over the past few years, we have witnessed a massive breakthrough in the fields of spiking neural networks. For decades, this was just a beautiful theory, a set of mathematical principles, algorithm running in simulation, in my math lab and everything. But today, the dream is finally coming true. We are moving into the realm of pure theory to a real physical hardware implementation. So this is from the AI top conferences like ICRL. The most exciting breakthrough aren't just language model, but we see a rapid rise of architecture called spike-driven transformer. Instead of forcing heavy, draining maths into traditional server, this new architecture communicates just like brain, okay, using simple, highly efficient pulses of information. It's like event-driven, like what spiking neural network is talking about. It's just when you spike, you process. And the result is staggering. From their research, they are even successfully analyzing complex 3D environment without missing critical details. That's what they say. But the real magic also happens when we pair this smart algorithm with new generation neuromorphic hardware designed specifically for them, like Intel's Loihi chip. By building the physical chip that actually mimic biological neural network, we are saving massive amounts of computation time and power. We can now run highly complex model on just a fraction of electricity required for traditional hardware. So this is very, very new. This is groundbreaking in the spiking neural network community. So fundamental research that was viewed just too theoretical now exactly required to make the dream of fast, sustainable future of artificial intelligence a reality. So, how do we, as academics, community seize this moment? How do we ensure our work shapes the digital transformation of our society? I believe we must anchor our research into 4 core principles. Firstly, we have to dare to ignore the hype of this AI, this coming right, is hype. Innovation does not always happen in the center of the consensus. Of course, it happens on the fringes. So the tech industry excels in scaling things up, but academia excel in discovering the unknown. We are keep researching and asking. So I asking you to keep asking questions about why we do this, right? And then secondly, leverage AI to accelerate discovery. We have to use AI tools, okay, as our research assistants, and let the machine handle the route and repetitive tasks, like structuring data pipelines, so you can protect your most valuable assets, your deep theoretical human intuition. So every decision made by AI, we have to have human in the loop to make sure that the data or the information that we get from the AI agent is correct or the correct data. This is what the first keynote speaker also said, right? We cannot just trust the AI tools directly. We have to ask again the question, why is it the answer is like this, right? And compare to whatever the research we are asking, and what is the prompt we put inside the AI tools, right? If we put a wrong prompt, they will give us a wrong answer. So AI is not that intelligent, yeah, but we have to be more intelligent than them. Yes. So the third is the ground the math in human reality. Means that an algorithm means very little if it doesn't solve human problem. So when it's easy to get lost, like optimizing the accuracy, celebrating the lower loss function. But when we design a system, we must ask, who will this affect? Right? How it will change their reality? How can we help them and solve their problem? And the fourth is build system that evolve. Okay, build the system that evolve. Okay, a predictive model trained on historical data like 2024 or 2000, you will going to be struggle in 2026 because world changes a lot. And then we must build a system that learn, adapt, and evolve in real time. So this approach has been the foundation of my career. My PhD motivation was clear. Spatial temporal data is incredibly complex, very complex data. You got space, you got time. So it holds multi-dimensional information and hidden pattern within the relationship between the data itself. So traditional global modeling often fails here because they cannot actually identify this relationship between this temporal and spatial data. So we need a system capable of personalized modeling to facilitate new discoveries and predict events as early as possible. So my research during under Professor Kasabov, we developed a novel framework called PMESNNR, an extension of personalized modeling approach based on spiking neural network methods. So this led to a development of NewCube M1 architectures prototype. Now they got NewCube M2 architectures, and they got GitHub also. You can go to the scan the QR and see what's the project is coming out using the NewCube. You can use these tools. And we are the pioneer of building this prototype. Okay. So the NewCube architecture is very fascinating. It starts in spike time encoding modules, and the spike time encoding modules, and they will convert the continuous data into train of spike. And then this spike feed into recurrent 3D neural network reservoir, SNNR. It's a 3D. We can see the spike entering and put into the neuron, which uses unsupervised learning methods, specifically spike time dependent plasticity, STDP learning. They learn the relationship between the spike, right? And SNR implement the 3D structure of leaky integrated and fire model. In principle, this model can learn complex spatial temporal pattern from data stream and can recognize early and incoming pattern. So the SNR connectivity is initialized as a small world connection. We put the small world, how big is our reservoir? And where closest neurons are connected to higher probability, finally, and supervised learning modules handles the output classification. So the key finding here is like personalized modeling based on spiking neural network more suitable for spatial temporal data pattern learning. Early event prediction is possible also through predictive modeling approach. Better accurate results without data pre-processing, because just we dump into the data without pre-processing at all. We dump into this NewCube. Compare classical, we have to do a lot of processes, real cleaning and everything. We just don't do that, all right? And revealing unknown pattern and association in spatiotemporal data through dynamic input mapping. deep learning of spatial temporal data pattern for personalized profiling through 3D visualization. Okay, we apply this predictive modeling approach to three real-world complex problems. The first was predicting stroke occurrences for health management. So the first is during my PhD study. So our goal was early and accurate prediction of risk of stroke. The result was astounding because the data is actually the environmental data and also the data of the biological data or health data of the person. So the nuclear prediction was about 100% accurate 1 day and 6 days ahead of time, significantly outperforming traditional methods like SVM and MLP. Because the data itself actually influence the result of the results. We got because our data we are separated in the seasonal variation group. We got autumn, summer, spring, and winter. So the highest and accurate data is for the summer group, seasonal group, because we notice seasonal variation, right, for lower in autumn and spring, because maybe of the environment condition is not so, I think not severe. There's no drop in the winter, there's no drop in the temperature like drastically. Like in summer, the high reading of the temperatures, right? It affects actually the biological of the person who is a smoker, has hypertension, the age, right? Older is more vulnerable. This is that we are talking about the risk of getting, can we attack a stroke within that 6 days? If you are, like exposed to this harsh environmental condition. All right. Okay. So this is the results that we've got from our research. The group analysis that we do, that we use a spreading algorithm to determine neuronal clusters, showing how different environmental variables interact. And even more powerful was the personalized network analysis. This is for one person. Okay, we want to track which actually environmental variable that start first, that attack, that actually make them vulnerable to risk of stroke. So we can see the trajectory, all right? So we can see the dynamic patterns of consecutive changes in the environmental variable over time. We also could trace the firing order of input neuron and mapping the unique predictive triggering pattern of specific individual leading up to a stroke. Okay, maybe some of them, because we call personalized, because some of them is different. Everybody is different, so everybody will be affected with different way. That's why they will not get stroke as the same day or maybe as same day, but it's just a risk. Meaning it's not saying that you're going to have stroke tomorrow. No lah. But it's a risk if you are exposed to this kind of harsh environment. Please be careful lah. Please be careful. Stay at home. Don't go out and things like that. But because of this, it's not like from our age device, so we cannot track. It's still very hard to do it. If we can build it as a device, it's very good, right? Okay, our second research is on agricultural scale, which is we predict aphid pest abundance for timely agricultural management. So aphid is a bug that poses a severe threat autumn crops, right? And then their population is influenced by both spring and population and external environmental conditions. So we analyze like 11 years of weekly data by feeding just 75% of the temporal data, which is 39 weeks leading up to the autumn, into the prototype new cube, and then we achieve around 81.82 prediction accuracy. Again, it outperformed standard models. So this proved that our brain-inspired model could effectively capture the complex long-term temporal dependency required for early event prediction in ecology. So this is the true beauty of the fundamental research is versatility. Seeing the success of new cube sparked a new direction for us. When I came back to UTHM, we asked if this principle allows us to predict biological and predict massive environmental disaster. Can we use that? So traditional predictive models hit a bottleneck here, and because the flood risk assessment simply because of flood data actually highly volatile and never static. It's very changeable. To capture this complexity, we engineer a unique solution that merged spiky neural networks with fuzzy weighted k nearest neighbor classifiers. So using half a decade of spatial temporal data, our system went beyond basic number crunching. It continuously mapped the living trajectory of developing flood and securing high accurate prediction long before it became a physical threat. Because this data is from 5 years of Kuala Krai rainfall data set. This is Kuala Krai is in Kelantan. If you have managed to go to Malaysia, it's in Kelantan. Kelantan, okay? It's in like west and East Malaysia. Okay, when the monsoon comes, they will mostly have a terrible flood there. So we got a good data there about the weather, about the flood, right? Oh, that is how the spike. They put the spatial the neuron. The spike is mapped into the neuron inside there. There's a calculation there. And then it will move. We can see the neural spark, just like our brain, like spark everywhere, like that. And then they will establish the last connection. Okay. Because brain-inspired research can process time, space, and context, the applications are expanding globally. They are using it in biomedical informatics, like EEG signal for Alzheimer's diseases, right? And also they use it for environmental science, so seismogram waveform to predict earthquake before the strike. So they're scaling and process massive radio astronomy data, also detecting cosmic events across billions of years, like solar flares and everything. So they are using this to actually do a prediction about that. But of course, the field of computational intelligence is big, it's very wide. So we don't have to stop at brain-inspired network. We can adapt the right tool for our own specific problem. So every nature of the data itself make us choose what actually algorithm that is suitable for that data. So today, mainstream AI frameworks are undeniably powerful, but there is a massive bottleneck in taking them out of server room and deploying them continuously on edge devices, like remote sensors, on wearable monitors, right? The barrier is computational time and energy. You cannot strap a server farm on the wrist of your patient wrist, right? So big. So breakthrough like spike-driven transformer, recently 2023, the first paper, now in 2026, they are presenting again. And also neuromorphic chips introduced in 2021 are the missing link of this. So they fuse the predictive power of deep learning and the ultra-low power event-driven efficiency of brain-inspired algorithm. So they actually the vehicles to commercialize our academic theories into scalable solution. When you work span through stroke prediction, flood warning, agricultural management, you realize something very profound. We researchers build personalized predictive models deployed on age. You are giving us extra 72 hours to evacuate, right? You are giving the family a medical warning they need. We are giving farmers time to save their crops. They are saving life and we are saving life and livelihood. So as we spend the next few days here in Istanbul, I want to leave you with one final thought. In academia, intellectual pride is occupational hazards. So it is easy to fiercely protect our citation and argue over mathematical models. But we should not let intellectual pride become our benchmark. True scientific innovation requires profound humility, that we build this system because humanity is facing unprecedented environmental, medical, and social challenges. So let us lead the research with empathy. The maths only matter if they serve a human purpose. So you keep pushing the boundaries and keep asking who does this help. So currently, our faculty is assisting our Johor government. Our Johor government, we got AI projects for to build a custom AI solution for the government. We got 13 students working on this project. It's a final year project student. So they are going to install, build and combine with agentic AI to help the government to do all this processing of data, right? And help them to do a good decision after looking at the reports and everything. So that is the point when, that is the level of degree lah. They build it using the agentic data. But level of researcher is different. We research on the ground, the fundamental part, right? And the project is related to disaster management, rural infrastructure tracking. They got also welfare distribution, asset monitoring, and a lot of recruitment in the company. So they help, the student will help them to do that, all right? So the defining divide the next decade of AI will be between who build the technology for the sake of technology, or those who build technology with a conscience. And so let us stay curious, let us stay deeply humble, and let us keep learning from the quiet, beautiful efficiency of human brain to build a better future for the human heart. All right, thank you so much. That is the end of my talk.
Well, thank you. That was an interesting and really thought-provoking presentation. Thank you very much. I would like to invite questions from audience. Are there any questions for our keynote speaker?
Hello. Maybe the title is too difficult because it's very specific to spiky do that way.
Maybe I'll start with questions. Yeah.
Yes.
So the new cube is very interesting because my research is also related to spatiotemporal. Yeah. So and you also show the link for the resources, yes. And I have
Already
take
done
notes.
it?
Yeah, I've done it. Yeah, I'll check the in my.
Because, yeah, spiky neural network is not very famous in Malaysia also, not so famous.
Yeah, yeah.
This is like start from the New Zealand groups. So, yeah, the one who expertise in the mind, me and another colleagues. But yeah.
Quite interesting is the system fundamentally dependent on specialized neuromorphic hardware, like spin maker.
Spike.
Yeah.
Spike driven.
Yeah, yeah. But you know, commonly we use the CPU or GPU infrastructures.
Yes.
So do you have any comment about this?
GPU is still good because it's a powerful one. But that for neuromorphic, like the chips, right? The chip is for edge devices, small, personalized things that are used. GPU is still, you can still use it. But interesting is that Spike, SNN in technology is like, it is event driven. That it shouldn't have to use much powers. It just spike, it just process information when it spike. So actually, if this is new things like the chips and the transformers, so we can save actually all this power. The big data centers need a lot of power. Traditional algorithm, they always process the data. Always process it. It's not waiting for spike. But this SNN is using event driven. Just anything happen, they will spike and they will have the data will be processed.
Sure. So how steep is the learning curve for domain experts or developers who do not have background in computational neurosciences?
What?
How steep is the learning curve?
Steep.
Yeah, the learning curve. Is it hard to learn?
Oh, okay. I'm not sure because it depends on the person itself. If you are a fast learner, because when I came to PhD, right, I never know about spiky neural network or neural network itself. So it is, I was struggling to understand everything. But then after a while, you got a good colleagues, right, in the lab. Everybody is helping everyone. You know, you just ask, and also the supervisor also they come in and talk to me. You know, you don't understand. So this the learning environment is very important, and you have I think you push yourself to learn. So if you give up, so that's why I say it depends on the person itself. If you don't want to learn, you think it's very hard, you don't want to read, you have to read a lot and learn a lot of things about everything. So my experience, yes, I cried for the first years on my PhDs. But then after I got help, then okay. I managed to finish in 3.5 years, right? That's good. Alhamdulillah. So it depends on the person itself.
Right, beautiful. And last question from me, are there plans to provide more open source modules, pre-trained?
For what? For YouTube?
Yeah, to learn this new technology.
I think you can try to download through GitHub and try to use it yourself and understand how you use, because my version was, this is like they got, my version is different. It's a very new cube MATLAB style because it's like 10 years ago. So that's what my students use. So they upgrade the algorithm into that. But if you want to learn and explore, you can just use the new cube. Yeah, it's not so difficult. It's like Weka. It's just like Weka. You upload the data inside there and they do the work. Yeah, you have to understand why is it like that. Yes.
That's interesting, and I'll sure to introduce the software to my student as well. Yeah. All right, thank you very much. I think I'll end this session and we'll continue to the next keynote speaker.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for the presentation. And for the presenting the plaque, we are inviting the Professor Dr. Lailil Muflika to the stage. We are now going to continue with the third keynote session. Please welcome Dr. Rizvan Septriyadis Yanturi and Dr. Gideon McConnell Jonathan.
Before we proceed, I would like to invite my colleague, Dr. Anis Ramawati Amna, as the next moderator.
Good morning, distinguished guests, colleagues, and participants. It's my pleasure to introduce our next keynote speaker, Dr. Gideon McConnell Jonathan, Associate Senior Rector at the Department of Computer and System Science, Stockholm University, Sweden. Dr. Jonathan's research lies at the intersection of digital transformation, information system, and emerging technologies, with particular attention to artificial intelligence and blockchain. His work addresses important contemporary issues including digital sovereignty, organizational agility, information security management, digital entrepreneurship, and the use of digital technologies to strengthen innovation, governance, and public value creation. Through his research, teaching, and engagement with the international information system community, Dr. Jonathan brings a valuable perspective on how organization and society can navigate an increasingly complex digital environment. We are delighted to have him with us today. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dr. Gideon McConnell Jonathan. Dr. Jonathan, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Doctor. All right, before I start, I'm very happy to be here at IGU and to Istanbul. This is my first time in Turkey, and I'm originally from Ethiopia, and it looks like we are good friends, Ethiopia and Turkey. Last February, I was in Addis, and when your president were visiting for around 3-4 working day visit. And if you are familiar with information systems research, and one of the prominent researchers in information systems, Ben Bassat, you know this guy, Professor Ben Bassat. He has more than, if I'm not mistaken, more than 80,000 citations. So he's a big figure in the information systems area. And I met him in 2019 in Italy, in Naples, yeah. And he invited me to visit Turkey, and he's from Istanbul, from the European side of the city. And I'm very happy to be here. And thank you very much for the host and the organizers, especially Professor Diden, for inviting me to share my thoughts on information systems and digital transformation. And today, I'm going to share with you okay. Yeah, I'm going to share with you some of the studies I conducted in the last 3-4 years. But before that, I'll tell you a very short story. In Sweden, Stockholm, the municipality is responsible for primary education. And it looked like students and teachers were complaining, especially teachers were complaining because of the administrative work they have to do, which is very repetitive and taking most of their time than educating students. So, with politicians' blessing, they started a very ambitious information system project to consolidate all the systems where teachers can communicate with students and parents can log in and see students' grades, attendance, and many things, which was very ambitious. And this project, which was supposed to take not more than a couple of years, started in 2013 and ended in 2018. And the delivery was, as I said, it was very ambitious, but it took a very long time, and it cost the taxpayers 5 billion Swedish crown, which is around 5 million USD. But later, not 5 million, 500 million USD, I mean. And then later, it was a disaster. The students did not like it, the teachers did not like it, the teachers were not using it, and the security feature was very bad, personal information was leaked, and at the end, the municipality was fined by the European Union to pay, if I'm not mistaken, 50 million US dollars, which is a very costly and huge mistake. But the municipality had the best software developers, the best project managers in terms of IT, but then the whole thing collapsed. And some of the developers, which were also parents to kids who were going to the schools, they developed an official app which gained access to the back-end data, whatever they have. And then the municipality was fighting in courts for many months. So this is an example of a failed IT project, and the reason is not technological, but I will tell you what I think the reason was, because this was covered in media, and even there were so many empirical studies conducted on that. So today, what I want to talk about is about information systems and how it's evolved as a discipline in light of the new AI era. Okay? So, just to start with, what do you think is information systems for? We have seen the title, right? Information systems, information systems. Do you think the definition or the role of information system has changed? through time. If you talk to organizations and IT leaders, and even when you talk to the academics. Before, a long time ago, when it comes to information systems, what we want to do was to design systems which can help us process information, right? Particularly in sectors where information is, a large amount of information is collected, processed, and used for information, for decision making. Since most of my studies are conducted in the public sector, the theme of my presentation and most of the examples I give you might be from the public sector. So, we support decision making, we enable digital transformation, and by the way, when I say digital transformation, I'm talking about the application of information technologies to improve value delivery. So this might be different for different organizations. If we talk about the public sector, we are talking about creating public value. When it comes to the private sector, it is improving the value for shareholders, right? And if we go with this thought, then AI is another technology. So we don't have to care that much. Since the digital transformation is the application of emerging technologies, it doesn't matter which technologies we have, right? Wrong. Because AI changed the way we look at organizations, the way we look at processes. So, what we wanted to do in the application of technologies before was to use these technologies to support what we do, to support, emphasis with support. But now AI is driving what organizations can do, right? So when we hear AI adoption, the use of emerging technologies and intelligent technologies, so it should help our organizations achieve a lot. It should help us improve the value we create. So, when we talk about this technology, we are not only transforming organizations, we are not supporting organizations, but we are trying to come up with new value propositions and solutions, which makes the role of information mission different. So, in the public sector, when it comes to government, before, correct me if I'm wrong, most of the empirical studies conducted in the public sector, comparing it with the private sector, when it comes to the adoption of technology, the private sector was blamed for lagging behind, for not taking risks and embracing new technologies, right? But when it comes to AI now, what does it tell you? The list is long, but those are the countries where, in my research group, we have conducted studies about AI and how these governments are looking at the technology. And it shows that these governments are doing a lot, and even elected leaders and politicians are taking the initiative to drive this technology. And that's what this document shows us in different countries. In Canada, Sweden, Estonia, Singapore, United Kingdom, and even countries in the global south. We have conducted empirical studies in Kenya, Liberia, and Ethiopia, which indicates that those countries, no matter what, the maturity level of their technology, they are investing a lot in AI. And they are drafting legislations to support this transformation. I don't want to say much because almost everybody knows this. What can public organizations and governments do with AI? The opportunities are limitless, But mostly in the studies, the empirical study we conducted, AI is used as intelligent assistants, for instance. And instead of the predictive models, we have chatbots and virtual agents which are intelligent. Automated processing, predictive analytics, and then AI-supported decisions and operational improvement. But you have to consider the difference between the private and public sector when it comes to the use of AI and what we aim to do with this. As you know, private organizations are there to make profits for their shareholders. But the public sector has another motive, which is providing service for citizens. And they have a different accountability and legitimacy issues. So the application of technologies which are unexplainable with black box, right? So it can be challenging. But the bottom line is now AI is not, governments and public organizations are not experimenting, they are trying to use it practically. But even though we are spending so much money and there is support for the adoption of AI in the sector, citizens want it, employees are expecting help to do their task, but we see different issues. In one hand, the models we have today, AI models, are becoming very smart, right? Smarter. The processing speed is increasing, and then we have the technology is improving very fast. But when it comes to creating public value, not so much. Not so much. Many public organizations still struggle with governance and accountability. If you remember, in the 1970s, when information systems were being deployed in many organizations, one of the issues which that time was considered trivial was what happens to the responsibility when decisions were made based on the predictions made by the computers. And in IBM, I don't know who said that, but in IBM slides, always they used to write something which says, computers cannot be held accountable, so cannot make decisions. So we can use the technology to help us make decisions, but we should be accountable for the decisions we make, right? So what AI can do versus what organizations actually achieve with it is an unexplored area in the research. And one common findings in these studies is that technological capability alone cannot determine organizational success, or it cannot guarantee that we can achieve what we set out to achieve based on the technology alone. So now we have a different era in information system evolution, and we have come to the era where AI is becoming prominent. So what we want to do is to use the technology to cultivate our capability, organizational capability. And in this talk, I will talk about, just briefly, the challenge, why technology is not enough. And then I will also talk about organizational intelligence as opposed to artificial intelligence. And then I have also brief results I can share with you. And then what are the implications of this? And how can we contribute to improve or to overcome the challenges we face in this area as academics and researchers? So, do you remember this? This is not a history class, but I just want to show you how we have arrived here. First, when we used information systems, the first time, what we wanted to do was to avoid repetitive, mundane tasks, right? To make automation. So that was the ultimate goal of information systems. And then after, we came to recognize the value of information. So how can we process large amount of data to help us make informed decisions? And then after, in the 90s, the late 90s, so what we wanted to do is instead of working with specific functions or specific units, we want to integrate organizations, right? The different processes and systems within the organization, so that as a whole we can achieve the overall organizational objective. And then it came to digital transformation and making everything digital, right? So this was the application of those technologies to radically change the business value, the business model and value proposition for our customers. Again, it depends on which kind of customers you have, public sector or private sector. And now, we have come to AI. So this is to help us cultivate intelligence within organizations. All right? What kind of data, what kind of resources do we have, and how can we intelligently or efficiently use those to improve the value we deliver from organizations? So each era, we see that the role of information systems has changed in each of these areas. So the first time we were asking, how can technology improve organizations, right? So this was as a support for what we do. But now, the technology, you take one technology, and especially AI, and apply it in different organizations. And then you get different results, right? So the question is, how do we design or manage organizations to realize the value of intelligent technology, including artificial intelligence, right? So this is what I call the new mission of information systems. And then we have also seen in the literature a term coined, the AI capability fallacy. Many organizations are, trying to compete with their competitors based on what kind of recent technology or models we have. But we have to understand that what does AI capability means before we adopt it. So this ability is to learn from data. This was mentioned in the previous talks as well, and predict outcomes, automate tasks, and then improve rapidly, right? But in order to achieve this in our organizations should have the capability, different capabilities, and those are not only technological. So we have governance, for instance, clear rules, accountability, and ethical use. This is particularly important in the public sector. So the decision-making right, who makes the call when it comes to the application of these technologies, and who takes responsibility if things go wrong, all right? And then we need to have also leadership, which is visionary and transformative. But unless we have people who can rapidly learn new set of skills required from those technologies, then we cannot gain a lot. And then after, when we have services using those technologies, the people using, employees, and even in the public sector, citizens are not trusting this technology, it cannot work or it cannot help us. So the bottom line is that we have the technology which is rapidly evolving, but we do not have the organizational capability to handle this technology. So AI capability is advancing rapidly, and these capabilities are not as fast in organizations. Now we know what artificial intelligence is, right? So what do you think is organizational intelligence? Have you thought about it? Okay, let me give you an example. A child is born with very, very sophisticated processing machine, brain. Especially at a young age, it's like clean slate. Not biased, not filled with many things which might not be helpful, right? But in order for this child to be intelligent, we need to have an environment where this child can learn. That's what parents do, right? Facilitate or create an environment where the child can grow. The same logic applies in organizations. You have organizations which need to learn, so we need to have organizational structures and systems which facilitate learning, and then we need to have a leadership structure to support and coordinate what we want to do with these new technologies, right? So, like a child has, we cannot say a child, for instance, a 1 month child, this child is intelligent, right? But we say this child has a potential. The same holds true for organizations, right? So intelligence is not about potential, it's about how the potential is developed and used. So AI as a tool gives organizations more powerful brain, but this does not make them wiser. So what I want to say is that no matter what kind of technology you bring into your work processes or within your organization, it cannot be intelligent unless all the environments conducive are not present. So this is what I said earlier. So what makes an organization intelligent? It should be able to turn experience into insight. It needs to respond to change. So it means an organization should be adaptive, right? So yes, technology is necessary, but it's not sufficient. And then within organizations, we have two types of intelligence, right? So we have computational intelligence, which is talking about the use of data, right, to support what we do. Patterns, predict outcomes, or to optimize decisions, and those technologies help us to do intelligent tasks. But what do organizations have, and what do they do? They must sense, interpret, and then they need also to make the use of those technologies responsible. So it creates sustainable public value, and this creates intelligent organizations. But those two complement each other. You have the best technology or very good technology, and then you have the organizational capabilities, then you can succeed in using this technology. So AI helps organizations to think faster And then organizational intelligence helps them to think wisely and to adopt those technologies responsibly in such a way that it creates public value. So, based on the literature review we did for our studies, we have come to this conceptual model where we see we have the technology first, which provides, which is basically a tool, and then we have to build the capabilities or capacity of organizations to use those technologies. And this is the use of both learning, governance, and collaboration within our organization. And this helps us to generate or to gain organizational intelligence, which is supposed to help us in improving the outcomes, which is trusted by our citizens and our other stakeholders. Yeah, so this is one quote from one of the interviews we were conducting in one of our studies. So it's easy, as long as you have money, you can buy technology anytime, right, overnight. But it takes some time to develop organizational capabilities and intelligence. We also have organization intelligence value chain. So here what we are trying to show is that this is an evolutionary process which starts with the application of technology. You can replace artificial intelligence with other technologies, but since we are talking about AI, this is a technology which creates opportunities and possibilities for organization, and then information system helps us to integrate data, process, and people. And earlier, somebody asked me about the difference between information systems and information technology or computer science. And information systems is multidisciplinary, so we are concerned about how people, processes, and other organizational aspects are integrated with information systems and new technologies, right? Organizations need to cultivate what they have, and then that gives us organizational intelligence, and then we apply judgment and context as opposed to just the application of artificial intelligence, right? And then this helps us to improve our outcomes, and particularly in the public sector, it helps us gain trust over time. So, I'm going to briefly share some of the results of our studies in different contexts. I told you earlier that we have followed some AI adoption projects in different countries. And different countries have different contexts and different challenges, right? Here in Sweden, what we found out was they have decentralized governance system, where the public sector is designed in such a way that the decision makers are closer to the citizens they serve. This is very good, but when you have 296 municipalities for 10 million people, things get messy. But we have seen that the public sector is aware of data governability. So they collect data, but the problem is unless public organizations share those data, citizen data, they cannot give citizens integrated service. I mean, for instance, when you have one shop one-window services where different public organizations give access to their data so that citizens can be served best. So that's one thing. So they understand they have to ensure the data quality, security, and ethical use. And like I told you earlier, many organizational readiness issues, when they are not properly addressed, so many projects fail. They have learned this the hard way. And municipalities and public organizations have also recognized innovation should be very responsible and sustainable. And many projects are being discontinued because of trust issues and very stringent regulations in the public sector. So the tradition now in this public sector within this context is capability cultivation starts before implementation. So before you start asking questions like what kind of AI can we use, organizations are asking first, are we ready to embrace those technologies so that we can get something out of it? Okay, and then we did also an empirical study in Kenya. One interesting thing in Kenya was even though the country is not ready in terms of infrastructure, legislation, and those kind of things, so the government decided that they have to push for the application of AI in the public sector, and they managed to change legislations to support devolution, to decentralize the public sector. And they have managed to have national policy, and then they also institutionalized governance within the public sector. But unfortunately, when we look at the practice within public organizations, we have seen so many shadow practices which are deviating from the sanctioned procedures. Okay, and are you guys familiar with digital sovereignty? Digital sovereignty? It's like political sovereignty or geographical sovereignty, but when it comes to digital infrastructure, data, and when it comes to legislation in relation to the application of emerging technologies, including AI. So in many countries, the problem of adopting AI in the public sector is that the public sector should make sure the data is not compromised, for instance. So they have to have their own, they have to have control over their infrastructure, their data, and even legislations. And in some countries, these restrictive legislations are preventing public organizations not to use artificial intelligence to their fullest extent. But in order to be digitally sovereign, you have to have both the capability, the infrastructure, and the legislation power. And that's what we have seen in this country. Even though the ambition is there, the digital infrastructure is not there, institutional capability is lagging behind. So the bottom line is that public value cannot be sustained when government or public organizations are promising digital sovereignty without having those prerequisites I mentioned earlier. Okay, and then we did also another study. Here what I wanted to show you is that many LLMs are being used in most public organizations, but unless, you know, no matter what efficiency, capability you have, unless trust, citizens' trust is there, so the system does not work. So trust was found to be foundational when it comes to the application of these technologies. And for this study, we analyzed around 2,000 community interactions between citizens and the chatbots. And this is the published paper, by the way. Yeah, and one of the interesting studies we conducted in two empirical settings is that earlier I mentioned the technology is developing, but the governance structure and even the understanding of leadership when it comes to this technology is lagging. But even when there are rules and governance structures in place, when employees or citizens are not on board, so they have what's known as shadow practices. In the public sector, we have seen in Kenya, we have seen that there were firewalls because people were using AI, like generative AI tools, to make decisions, and they were compromising the privacy of individuals. So they had governance documents which employees were supposed to follow, but unfortunately what happened was the employees start using their own mobiles, their own you know, networks, data traffic, and so on. So here we wanted to show shadow AI and how it affects the adoption of technology. AI, I mean. Yeah, so, you know, from the different studies we conducted, we see that the patterns are almost the same. So technology have been the focus of research and even practitioner, you know, consultants, white papers. But the issue most of the time is about readiness, governance, and institutional capability. And we have trust and organizational learning issues, which helps us to determine if we can succeed in the adoption of AI or not. So when I compare what the evolution, the information system evolution indicates that we see three shifts from in the discipline, from technology to capability, because technologies are advancing regardless. So we have to improve our organization so that we can have the capability to use those technologies according to our needs. And then we also need to work to shift our focus from you know, specific systems to organizational systems and organizations. And as we have heard earlier, we also need to think about not only efficiency, but the sustainable public value. And this can be translated in different organizational settings. So based on this, I propose those studies, you know, those research agenda for future. How can we cultivate capability within organizations? So it's not about only AI, but even the different versions of the technology which comes. And then how can we improve organizations in such a way that they can be intelligent, right? And then what kind of governance structure are conducive for these technologies in the future? And again, especially emphasis in the public sector, how can we adopt responsible use of AI in the sector? Again, sustainability is also another issue we could look into. Yeah. So we can ask different questions based on our roles. Leaders, what do they need to ask? And what can we do as educators and researchers, right? So the questions are different. Like I mentioned earlier, in different stages of the evolution of information systems, the questions have changed. So nowadays, we are concerned mostly about organizational capabilities and sustainability of the technologies we use, right? Yeah, so that's the main goal, sustainable public value. How can we use the technology in a way that is fair, transparent, trustworthy, and inclusive, and also sustainable? This summarizes what I have said earlier. So the main point I'm trying to get across is that technology is just a means, right? We have to use it in such a way that it can help our organizations be intelligent and produce public value which is sustainable. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Jonathan, for the very inspiring speech. Actually, that's a very good insight about the transformation of information system, particularly in the field of public sector. Because when we see the information system from the perspective of organization, then we know that there are some the cultural differences in organization when it is applied in the business and also public sector organization. And then your speech today is more focused on the public sector, which is very specific and has very different mindset. That's why actually I took my PhD in Ghent University, and at that time we have like very specific department that only discuss about how the IS is implemented in the public sector, because it's very special case.
Yes, it is.
So for the audience, maybe if you have like another questions for Professor Jonathan, please welcome. Yeah, please, sir.
Thank you for your presentation. My question is, in Sweden, can you give one or two real, tangible examples that the Swedish government done using AI? Otherwise, they could not have done it without AI. Can you give us one or two real, tangible examples?
Okay. Unfortunately, most of the examples are from failed projects, which were supposed to help the public sector more efficient. One municipality, before it's called RPA, right? Robots Process Automation. So what you wanted to do, what those organizations wanted to do was replace repetitive tasks, delegate those tasks to the machines. And later, they say, no, that's not enough. So one municipality had AI systems making decisions about child benefits. So you submit everything online. The only thing a case officer needs to do is check if it's green or red and sign. But unfortunately, that backfired because in the public sector, every decision you make should be transparent and it should be explained. And unfortunately, he cannot explain the algorithm. Even the prompts used to make those decisions were not recorded. That backfired. But now there are different AI systems used in the public sector. For instance, pollution measures. When you ride a bicycle, there are sensors on the streets to count the number of bicycles passing and the number of cars, calculating the gas emissions, and based on that, they make recommendations. And they think this is much efficient than humans doing this work. So this is just one example.
For example, let me give you one example from our country.
Okay.
Our government, the Ministry of Internal Affairs, found one fugitive they were looking for the last 10 years because of the face recognition technology they used. This is one example. They could not have caught him without the help of AI. That's what I'm saying. I just want real one good tangible example the Swedish government did by using AI in its country.
Most likely, this face recognition system will not pass the scrutiny of the legislation in Sweden. The municipality I told you about, using this AI, was fined 350 million Swedish crowns because they could not explain the decision they make in these processes. So the legislation is still in progress. The GDPR and other legal requirements are challenging to bypass, but there are many. Okay, I can give you another example. AI Sweden. Have you heard of AI Sweden? AI Sweden is a project or an organization which is created by the government to help the public sector develop LLM for the public sector. Okay, so this is still as the process. It's in its third stage of the process, but they are using their own RAG models to process public information so that the employees can make informed decisions. This is another example which is ongoing.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, while I think, sorry, because I think even though our discussion is still interesting, but I think we already run out the time. So maybe you can approach Professor Jonathan to have like a more private discussion, okay? It's okay for you? Okay, thank you. So unfortunately, Professor, we have to end up this discussion. Thank you for your time and good luck.
Thank you so much for the cooperation. Could you please, I invite the Professor Dr. Futsi to present the plaquette. Thank you so much for your cooperation. Now the opening session has ended. We are going to have a lunch break, but before that, on the way to the fourth floor, there is also an exhibition is going on the hangar just outside of here, which is being a collaboration with the Avcılar municipality. And after the exhibition, we can start the lunch break. And after that, it will start on